Hey everyone, it's Austin Solomon, the Solomon Group at Coldwell Banker Action. Today we're talking about red flags from a home inspection. So if you're buying a home and you're having the property inspected, right, it's a good idea to have the home inspected so you can learn what you're getting into. Just as a preface, a lot of people did waive home inspections this summer, right? And when the market was hot, we're still seeing some people in multiple offer situations waiving home inspections, right? I've did an episode about that in the past, but just to give like a quick recap, right? If there's a lot of offers, let's say 10 offers on a house, right? One of the quickest ways that a buyer could put their offer towards the top or the high end of the stack, right, towards the top would be to waive a home inspection, right? There's obviously risks in doing so. So for some buyers, it doesn't make sense, or in some buyers, they were comfortable in waiving their home inspection, right? Maybe they have more money to play with, or the property is, they're going to do updates anyhow, or it's a newer property and you feel comfortable with the condition, right? But in a lot of cases, home inspections are still happening, and it's still, in an ideal world, like it's good to have the home inspected, right? All right. So anyway, what are some red flags when you're getting the home inspected? How does an inspection work? How do you identify red flags, and how to navigate some of the issues that come up after your home inspection is done, right? The first thing you have to look at is the context of what home that you're buying. Are you buying a property that's 100 plus years old, or are you buying something that's 10 years old? So and also there's a big price difference between something that's, typically an older home that's going to need more maintenance, that's going to have, more upkeep, versus something that's newer and less upkeep. And it kind of comes back to price and what your tastes and preferences are, right? If you like a house that has that old school character and charm, like in the Wausau area, something that's over, on the east side that has the hardwood floors, right? Maybe a brick house that, a colonial style that's got all the, the original windows and the character and charm of some of those older homes. It's a good chance that house is going to have some more maintenance and upkeep, probably is going to have a lot more things that come up from a home inspection versus something that's 20 years old, right? And that makes sense. So you have to all start like in the context of, well, what are you buying and what price are you paying? In general, homes that are of lesser price point, one of the reasons that they're lesser is because they need more upkeep and maintenance, right? So you have to look at, okay, what am I buying? What's the context? Once you understand that, then you have to talk to your inspector. And what I would do is really talk to your inspector and your agent after the home inspection is done and say, okay, what things are really like major here? What things should I be concerned? The inspector will tell you that. One of the problems sometimes that happens is buyers will get opinions from maybe too many people, and it just leaves them feeling very like overwhelmed and concerned, after the home inspection. Again, a home inspector, they're looking at all the major pieces to the property, like the roof, the foundation. They're going to look at how the house is insulated, what the furnace looks like, what the major mechanicals and electrical systems look like. And they're going to summarize their findings. And there's varying levels of issues. The inspector, a lot of times, they're going to put everything out on the table for you, whether it's a small issue, it's kind of a medium sized issue, or if it's a big issue. After you get that home inspection, you'll be able to look at the report, and oftentimes you can walk through the inspector. What are the red flags that you see? Well, again, knowing the context of what you're buying, it's good to talk to the inspector and see, hey, is there anything that I should really get explored here that could be a major problem? Right? Oftentimes inspectors, if there is something that's big, they'll point you to a professional in that area, because they're not qualified to give you an estimate or an idea of how much that's going to cost. But they might point out, let's say there is a foundation issue, right? That's something that they might call out and say, you might want to have someone come out and take a look at this and see what it's going to run you to, to correct. The big red flags that I would see would be foundation issues, major mechanical problems. If there's mold, or if there's roof issues, structural problems, and water, like in Wisconsin, water and roof pitches are a big things too. And pitch the way that a property is pitched, having water coming into a basement is obviously, these are some of the bigger red flags. But no one or two things is typically ever, enough to maybe sink a deal. It's that it's the accumulation of multiple things, oftentimes multiple red flags that would lead you to like wanting to walk away from the property. Again, if the seller's not willing to work with you in that period where you can renegotiate or work out some of those repairs, right? But again, in the context of knowing what you're buying, a few things that I would be concerned about if I'm looking at a property that may not be things that you notice right away. One of the things in Wisconsin, if you have a property that has a flat roof, or if you have an addition, you want to make sure that addition was done properly and that the roof pitch is proper. Anytime, one of the things I've seen in my own house have learned is that when you have an addition, and we live in Wisconsin, there's different seasons in ice damming. There can be some issues that come up, right, with water coming in to that property and in the addition, and that can certainly be a major issue. So anytime there's an addition, I think that's certainly worth getting inspected and knowing how that, if it was done properly or not. Another thing too that I see is how are attics vented? Are they vented properly? Are you going to have any? Are they vented properly, or are you going to have concerns with, with moisture problems? Those tend to be a big thing too. And again, an inspector will point that out. Foundation, obviously, that's a big concern. In Wausau, Wisconsin, there's a lot of homes that have water in the basement. But again, you have to look at the context. Is it an unfinished basement? Is it a finished basement? There's some older homes that are built, in the 1900s. Early 1900s, mid 1900s, maybe you get a little bit of seepage in the basement, but it's unfinished. It may not be that big of a deal, but that's one side of the spectrum. What happens if you have continual moisture issues and problems coming into the basement? How does that high humidity affect the whole nature of the home, and what kind of costs are associated to mitigating that? So again, the key is after the home inspection is to talk to the inspector and say, hey, is there anything that's a real red flag here that I should really get explored from a professional? And again, there might be, if you're getting the house at the right price, you might have an opportunity to get a home at a discounted price and to work out some of these issues as you live in the home. And maybe that works to your benefit, right? But if the sum of these bigger problems is more than you're anticipating, or more than you're able to afford, that's when, again, that might be some of that signs that's like, okay, this is more than I can tackle here. I think it's best that I pass on this, or really try to work with the seller for terms that are favorable for you to move forward. So just a couple of things about red flags on the home inspection. Again, there's no one or two, three things that are red flags in every scenario, but it's having the right people, the right inspector, the agent, and professionals potentially explore to help you make a good decision when you're buying a home.